Aly Ross. I'm an ecologist with the Australian Wildlife Conservancy, which is a non-profit, and we seek to prevent the extinction of animals across Australia. Yes, that's right. I love animals so much that I chose the bear before it was cool. So my job is to prevent animal extinction. So basically I'm out in the bush and I'm working with these cuties, and these cuties, and these cuties, and my job is basically to stop non-native carnivores who see something like this and see this, which is taking finger food a little too literally for me. So my nemesis out in the bush is the feral cat. Now, we're in Adelaide. I know some of you probably have a cat at home. So I just want to be clear, when I see this, I go, aww. And when I see this, I go, no. So one more time. Good cat, naughty cat. Wild cat. And just like Troy Bolton, when it comes to conservation, we really are all in this together. So why have I chosen feral cats as my nemesis? Well, like all good arch villains, they're smart, they're fast, and they kill approximately 3 billion animals a year. So just to put that in perspective, that would be like an alien spaceship arriving... Ooh, I went too fast. Spoilers. That would be like an alien spaceship arriving in Australia and killing every single person in the country 100 times. Every year, forever. With a little bit of murder left over on the side. So to explain why cats are such a problem in Australia, I'm going to use a piece of seminal academic literature called Alien. Throw your hand up if you have not seen this piece of academic literature. You guys, it's been 50 years. What's your name? Jill. Thanks, Jill. I'm going to pick on you now. So Jill, and anyone else who hasn't seen it, in the movie Alien, John Hurt touches an alien egg, and for his curiosity, he is rewarded with an alien to the face. Now we as an audience, we know this is going to happen because there's scary music playing. We've seen the trailer, and sorry Jill, but it came out 50 years ago. It's pop culture, we know what's going to happen. It's the same problem with our native species. They are naive to the threat of a superior predator, which makes it all too easy for a feral cat to wipe the floor with our native species. So what do we do about that? It is my job to stop this from happening. I don't have Sigourney Weaver in a power suit to help me. So we have to think a bit more out of the box what we're going to do. So one of the things I do is I work with hunters, or land management officers, if you would like a formal title. And we go out and we hunt feral cats and foxes, and my job is to cut open the tummies and see what's inside, what they've been eating. Spoiler alert, it is everything. Cats have a habit of just cleaning up whatever happens to be available. So they're like vacuum cleaners, like very toothy, murderous vacuum cleaners. Yeah. I love an exotic meal as much as the next person, but I have never eaten my own dead mother. Just a light topic for you on there. So they have some really weird eating habits that help them with this murderous rampage. Imagine if your vacuum cleaner decided to hoover up the dust bunnies, but just a little bit at a time. A dust bunny arm here, a dust bunny leg there, just to make sure that the dust bunnies have a nice, long, horrifyingly macabre death. And the reason that they do this, you're playing with your cat and you've got a little toy on a string and its pupils go really wide? That is because you own a killing machine and it craves murder. So hunting is what we do to keep the cats away from things already on the ground, but we have some strategies to stop that interaction ever happening, which is obviously the best case scenario. So we use fences, but as David has already introduced to the crowd, you can't just use a regular fence. So together, we are going to create a cat-proof fence. So we start with a regular fence, and as you can tell, art was not my major, so I have labeled it for you. Fence! So the first thing a cat's going to do, it sees fence, and it wants to get inside fence, because on the inside, you have thoughtfully provided a cat-free area. So you've got all the quals, like David said. You've got all the tasty animals on the inside. That's essentially KFC. The cat wants to get inside fence. So the first thing it's going to do is going to try and climb over. So we're going to add a floppy top. So the cat climbs up, gets to the floppy top, falls over. Very gentle, very demure. Nobody gets hurt. We love that. The next thing that's going to happen is they'll try and squeeze little baby rabbits and cats and things will get in through those bottom layers. So we need a tight mesh on the bottom to stop them getting in. Once again, very gentle, very demure. We want to stop them digging. Foxes especially love to dig. So we're going to add a skirting at the base. Let them down easy, they can't dig in. And then we're getting sick of getting demure, so we're going to add 7,000 volts of electricity. Yes. So now we've got our cat-proof fence. We can have our tasty KFC on one side, and we can have our murderous vacuum cleaners on the other side. I live inside one of these fenced areas. I live in Yucamara Sanctuary, which is about 2 hours north. I have emerged from my KFCs in the box for tonight only. You're welcome. And these fences work really well. Once you've got them set up, you can effectively keep cats out of the area, but there's obviously problems. They are super expensive, $2 million just even for a small one. Super time consuming. I've checked these fences 3 times a week, every week, forever, including Easter, because as we learned, cats have no respect for bunnies. And it's not actually fixing the problem. What do I mean by that? Well, does anyone know about this animal? This is a number. It's one of my favourite animals in the world. I'm wearing it on my shirt. This is an animal that is supposed to be here. We're in Adelaide right now. You're supposed to go home and have this guy in your backyard. They eat 20 to 30,000 termites every single day each. I don't know about you, but I haven't eaten 20,000 anything since Pentel's was discontinued. So when you go home and you have a termite eating your back porch, that's because these guys are missing. And one of the reasons for that is because we have cats. They have super long, sticky tongues. They come out like a party popper. And I know that because they're at Yucamara Sanctuary behind the fence. This is a booties fart. Much like cats meow and cows moo, booties fart. And I mean fart like preschoolers thinking they're cool, like a literal fart. And my favourite thing in the world is taking people for a walk at night and not telling them about the booty farts and waiting to see how long it takes them to be like, we're surrounded by farting shadows. I want you to go home and have termite-free porches and farts outside your window when you go to sleep. But we can't do that. We have cats here, obviously. So we have to think of a way we can't just fence the whole of Adelaide. So we have to think of a way that these animals can be brought back to places where there are non-native carnivores like cats. How do we do that? Well, one more animal for you. This cute little guy, he's got like a nice little waistcoat going on with black stripes. So the locals call him a flashjack. Please don't Google that because it's also the name of a sex toy. That's okay, they have another name. When they hop, their arms do like this. So they're also called organ grinders. But don't Google that. Especially if you can't spell. Or do whatever I'm putting on. See what happens. They have another name. They're also called bridal nail-tail wallabies. That's okay to Google. So there's only a few thousand of these guys left in the wild. So if you post a photo on Instagram, depending on the spelling, you might get a DM from SleazyPete69. But most people aren't going to know what you're talking about. And the reason for that is that cats kill 50% of the population every single year. Half dead just from cats. That's before drought, before disease, before fire, you've lost half the population. So you and I, together, we're going to figure out how to solve this problem right here, right now. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look a little closer at the murderous vacuum cleaners. What are they doing? Disproportionately, they are eating the babies. This is crazy, because as we know, Voldemort couldn't kill a baby. Cats. Think them up like pastrami. So when we think about saving this species, we don't have to fence the whole population. We only have to save the babies. We have to think smart. So we don't have to fence everything. We only need a nursery or a preschool. Except this population is in Queensland, so it's a preschool. Queensland is in the audience, I see. Our preschool is going to have fewer teddy bears and more sweaty ecologists. And as you can see, we've got our cat-proof fence. You can see all the designs that we came up with earlier. Plus the 7,000 volts is off, as you can tell, because it's toxic. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our bridal nail-tail wallabies in here, but only the babies. And we're going to wait for them to grow up until they're no longer tasty. They can get to about 8 kilos as adults. That makes them a lot less easy to turn into dinner. And then we're going to put them back into the wild. So essentially, just protecting them when they need it, put them back in the wild when they don't. Did it work? This is like a science show. This is only the second graph that you're seeing today, so and I'm going to spoil it for you as well. It worked! Just in the first 3 years, we doubled the population, which, as you can see, is the biggest population spike that we've ever seen, and it's continued to go from there. So, feral cats. We've talked about hunting. We have talked about fencing. We have talked about sex toys. None of these is going to be the golden ticket to preventing extinction by cats, but some sort of something is going to, somewhere in the middle of here is going to be the golden ticket. And if we can't figure it out, then we do have Sigourney Weaver on speaker. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.